At the same time, there appeared in Judea an extraordinary person called Jesus, if it be lawful to call him a man. He was a famous worker of miracles, a teacher of those who were desirous of receiving the truth in simplicity, and brought over to him many disciples, both Jews and Gentiles. This was the Christ. When Pilate, as
outside the Bible,
the accusation of the princes and the great men of the nation, delivered up to the ignominious punishment of the cross, notwithstanding which those who first loved him did not forsake him. He appeared to them alive again the third day after his crucifixion, which numbers with numberless other wonders concerning him. And thence to this day there is a set of people who bear the name of Christian, as owning him for their head, Lord, and Master.
My. This is a historical, documented witness that Jesus Christ was real, he was legitimate, and they bear record of him here in this historical narrative. From 91 AD, yes sir, this is 20 years after the fall of Jerusalem.
This man was not a Christian. He was very anti-Christian. He was very pro-Rome and pro-Sanhedrin.
Damn.
Look at this. This is written in 91 AD. At the same time, there appeared in Judea an extraordinary person called Jesus, if it be lawful to call him a man. He was a famous worker of miracles, a teacher of those who were desirous of receiving the truth in simplicity, and brought over to him many disciples, both Jews and Gentiles. This was the Christ.
Wow.
As the accusation of the princes.
I mean, we know that already because we're Christians. We believe in Christ. We know that, but for people who are not Christians, who don't believe in Christ, what more proof do you need?
That was a witness at that time.
Here's a witness who's
outside of the Bible.
Outside of the Bible.
Telling his story.
He's writing his story. 90 years.
What he saw,
a Roman.
As a Roman.
And he saw,
not a disciple.
Not a disciple of Christ, not a Jew, not a Gentile.
Yeah.
Basically, not even a Gentile, he's pro-Rome.
Roman pagan.
A Roman pagan, yeah. So he goes, the same man that was dead appeared to be alive to him again.
Right.
Because he's seen him.
Right.
He's seen them with him too.
Right.
Right. And it's that same man, now that's in the Bible too. But this is not written in the Bible. This is this guy's own letter.
Yeah. His eyewitness testimony.
His eyewitness testimony that has nothing to do with the canon.
Nope.
That has nothing to do with when all the high priests and everybody got together and decided what to leave in the Bible, what not to leave in the Bible, the King James Version, the Ethiopian Bible, the Hebrew Bible, the canon. When they put it all together and made Christianity, Constantine years later after that made Christianity the dominant religion.
Right.
Whatever how you want to look at it. This has nothing to do with the Bible
at all.
It's some Yahoo.
Just his historical.
Just imagine a Roman Yahoo.
Yeah,
writing a journal. Exactly. It's his testimony that has nothing to do with the Bible.
In 91 AD. At the same time, there appeared in Judea an extraordinary person called Jesus, if it be lawful to call him a man. He was a famous worker of miracles, a teacher of those who were desirous of receiving the truth in simplicity, and brought over to him many disciples, both Jews and Gentiles. This was the Christ, whom Pilate, as the accusation of the princes and the great men of the nation, delivered up to the ignominious punishment of the cross, notwithstanding which those who first loved him did not forsake him. He appeared to them alive again the third day after his crucifixion. The third day
after his crucifixion.
Numbers,
like he said in the Bible, like he promised.
With
on the third day.
Other wonders concerning him. And thence to this day there is a set of people who bear the name of Christian, as owning him for their head, Lord, and Master.
My.
Original followers.
This is a historical, documented witness that Jesus Christ was real, he was legitimate, and they bear record of him here in this historical narrative.
At the same time, look at this. This is written in 91 AD. At the same time, there appeared in Judea an extraordinary person called Jesus, if it be lawful to call him a man. He was a famous worker of miracles.
Like they can't even call him a man. Like it's lawful. It's lawful. It's even lawful. It's like if it's even correct to even call him a man.
Right.
Like he's not a man. No other man can do what this man did.
Right.
So is he a man? Probably not. Is it lawful to call him one?
Right.
He's not.
Ignominious punishment of the cross, notwithstanding which those who first loved him did not forsake him. He appeared to them alive again the third day after his crucifixion, which numbers with numberless other wonders concerning him. And thence to this day there is a set of people who bear the name of Christian, as owning him for their head, Lord, and Master.
My. This is a historical, documented witness that Jesus Christ was real, he was legitimate, and they bear record of him here in this historical narrative. From 91 AD, yes sir, this is 20 years after the fall of Jerusalem.
Yeah, the Jews
This man was not a Christian.
Jews were kicked out of Rome.
He was very anti-Christian. He was very pro-Rome and pro-Sanhedrin.
Wow.
This is written in 91 AD. At the same time, there appeared in Judea an extraordinary person called Jesus, if it be lawful to call him a man. He was a famous worker of miracles, a teacher of those who were desirous of receiving the truth in simplicity and brought over to him. This was the Christ, whom Pilate, as the accusation of the princes of the great men of the nation, delivered up to the ignominious punishment of the cross, notwithstanding which those who first loved him did not forsake him. He appeared to them alive again the third day after his crucifixion, which numbers with numberless other wonders concerning him. And thence to this day there is a set of people who bear the name of Christian, as owning him for their head, Lord, and Master. This is a historical, documented witness that Jesus Christ was real, was legitimate, and they bear record of this historical. From 91 AD, yes sir, this is 20 years after the fall of Jerusalem.
Put it on here.
Might not work. I want to show you this historical document. It's in a book, right? Yeah. And it was written in Rome in 91. The year 91. So 60 years after Christ passed away, roughly.
Okay. I thought you said 1991, but I said, damn.
Yeah, sorry, no, 91. 60 years after Christ passed away, and
rose from the grave.
And 20 years after Jerusalem fell. Okay, and it's written by a Roman in 91 AD, and I believe, and now
after death.
Yes. Now I have to check again, but I believe the New Testament wasn't even finished yet. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, I don't believe were written all the way down yet.
I know the Roman Colosseum was built exactly 40 years after Christ's crucifixion.
No, let me look. Yeah,
I think
it was somewhere around there.
70 years.
I believe so. Now let me hold on. When was Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John written? I just want latter half. So around the same time as the New Testament was just getting finished. Okay. Now check this out.
It's not long enough to make multiple copies around the world.
No, not like that. Definitely no.
Especially in those times.
Definitely no.
Yeah.
They didn't have printers and stuff.
No, none of that.
So.
Or get it traveled across the world.
Hold on, let me even ask.
You have cars and planes. You have to travel by horse.
When was the? Oh, damn it! Hold on. When was the New Testament written?
Go ahead and say what you just said. Yeah, that proved that the Roman
guy that in the history book wrote that. He said, the follower, and this was 91. So in the Bible, there's not one mention of Christians. Christianity didn't exist. There's followers of Christ at that time, but there wasn't an official name for them or anything like that. Just people that liked and followed Christ's teachings they called themselves Christians.
Right.
This Roman guy said that in the history book. He said, Jesus had his original followers didn't forsake him, and that the original followers of Christ, they call themselves Christians.
And he was a Roman that has nothing to do with the canon.
Yeah.
He's not mentioned in the Bible in the original
This
text.
is just your average Roman guy that happened to be there at that time period, lived during that time period and see it. You know,
So it's a Roman that wrote a letter that happened to just be there. He's not in any of the Bibles.
Right.
He's not in the Ethiopian Bible. He's not in the canon.
Nope.
He's not in the King James Version Bible. His name is never mentioned in the Bible that we know of now. Hebrew, Ethiopian, Greek,
Nope.
Dead Sea Scrolls, none of it.
And this is
He's just a Roman around that time who wrote a letter that they found.
Yes, he wrote in a history book.
In the history
or
book.
something. Yeah, he
The history of Romans.
Basically, yeah,
Yeah.
they're writing down their history.
Like the history of America?
Yeah, they recorded their history, you know, and that was one of the time, you know.
Yeah.
Like you don't see that in any other history books or teachings, you know. They leave that to the Bible.
Right,
you know,
right.
But this
So
was an
it-
actual recorded history book.
Yeah, so it proves that Jesus existed
And this-
outside of the Bible.
The guy, yes, and the guy who wrote it wasn't a Christian. He was a regular Roman pagan,
Yeah.
and actually didn't care for Christ at all because he was, you know, part of the Roman government.
Yeah.
And still wrote it down.
And he said the same man that was crucified seemed to be alive to them the 3 days later.
Right.
3 days later, that same man crucified appeared to be alive to them, and they didn't forsake him.
Yep.
Right? And that same man that I saw crucified appeared to be alive if it was lawless to even call him a man.
Now with as many,
Right?
right.
And he said, what's lawless mean?
He said lawful.
Lawful.
But-
if it was lawful to even call him a man.
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
I forgot what I was gonna say. Now, damn.
Or-
I caught on to something. I forgot what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, as much problems as Jesus gave Rome and the Roman government, they could have easily just left that out of their history book. And
But the guy
recorded
didn't.
it. They
He
wrote
recorded
it. Yeah,
and he has nothing to do with the Bible.
yeah. And this was after Jerusalem fell and Jews were kicked out of Rome, so he really didn't have to write it down at all.
And he said, and the guy goes, it proves that it proved that Christ existed outside of what we know as the Bible.
Yeah.
It's a regular guy who just, like me standing at McDonald's seeing somebody get beat up or whatever, I'm writing my own letter about what happened.
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, he has nothing to do with the Bible. He's not in the Bible. It's not a story in the Bible. It's just some guy who wrote a letter, and it proves that Jesus Christ existed outside of the Bible.
Or think about it like today, you know how during a court trial, you have the people type.
Yeah,
it could
yeah.
have been someone like that.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
writing down the trial of Jesus.
Yeah.
But not in the Bible.
Not in the Bible. Yeah.
History.
Yeah. And he goes, that same man appeared to be alive to him 3 days later, if it was even lawless to call him a man.
Yeah.
Because that same man crucified appeared to him 3 days later alive.
Right. I want to find out what book that
Wow. Anybody had any doubts in their mind, which they're stupid, we believe because we're Christians, you know what I'm saying? But Christianity didn't even exist yet.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And that's huge. That's huge for the Christians.
Right.
That's huge for Christianity. It shows how you need to be a Christ. You
Right.
need to be a Christian. Because here's a Roman that's writing a letter that he said the first followers of Christ, they did not forsake him like the others.
Yeah.
The first followers, and they called themselves Christians.
Right.
This is before Christianity even existed.
Yep.
So it's like someone calling themselves a Christian, but they're killed thousands of years ago or 90 years ago or whatever, and then all of a sudden it's stamped since Constantine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Back, hundreds of years later, it's the official religion, Christianity.
Yes.
Now it has a name.
Yes.
But it didn't have no name then. The word Christianity didn't even exist in the Bible at all.
No. Nope.
You see what I'm saying? So that's huge for the Christian religion from a Roman.
Right.
From a Roman, he said, for some reason, they called themselves Christians.
Yeah.
And they were the first followers of Christ, and they did not forsake him like the others. And they called themselves Christians before Christianity even had a name.
Right.
This is huge.
Right.
Now, why was that buried? Where was that at, that letter? They just found it? Or how long has it been around?
So here goes another one. Tacitus on Jesus.
Titus, yeah.
Roman historian and politician Tacitus referred to Jesus, his execution by Pontius Pilate, and the existence of early Christians in Rome in his final work, in his book he written in year 115. The context and passage mentions the 6-day great fire of Rome that burned much of the city in 64 AD. during the reign of Emperor Nero. The passage is one of the earliest non-Christian references to the origins of Christianity, the execution of Christ described in the canonical gospel, and the presence of persecutions of Christians in the 1st century Rome. Man. Accusations of God did not banish the sinister belief that conflagration was the result of an order. Consequently, to get rid of the report, Nero fastened the guilt and inflicted the most exquisite tortures on a class hated for their abominations, called Christians by the population. Christus, from whom the name had its origin, suffered an extreme penalty during the reign of Tiberius at the hands of one of the other procurators, Pontius Pilate, and a most mischievous superstition that's checked for the moment again broke not only Judea, the first source of evil, but even in Rome, where all things hideous and shameful from every part of the world find their center and become popular. Accordingly, an arrest was first made of all pledged guilty. Then, upon the information, an immense multitude was convicted. Not so much of the crime of firing the city, but hatred against mankind. Damn.